All right. Okay. All right. So back into the introductions. So to my left, actually, first we have the raid representative. We got Duchess with us. Um, so raid's going to be able to have their say on whatever we talk about. Hopefully, she can fill them and let us know what she thinks.
Yeah, she's taking
Next,
notes.
next to Duchess, we've got JR Star 3. Jay, how you doing?
Doing good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Next to him, we have the one, the only luckiest person in the world to pull for shards. If you need shards, you need to go see him. Jarrett Gaming, how you doing?
Hey guys, all good? Everybody, thank you for having me. All good, thank you, sir. And yeah, shard luck, a bit up and down, admittedly, but today I've had some great luck with some matches. I saw about 90 to pop, so I think I pulled about 90 earlier, and I got about 5 Legos. So far, not bad, not bad.
Starting off strong.
That's it. It's only downhill from now.
All right, and then we couldn't have him in the studio. He's got to work from home, but up on the top we have O'Toole himself. He decided to call in from his house. So, how you doing?
Yeah, me, business up top and casual down below and all. My,
That's,
my Miller Lite shirt.
I, I'm pretty sure we're all the same way. I'm sitting in my PJ pants right now.
It's the only way
But
to stream, really.
yeah, that's true. So today we're gonna go around and we're gonna do one of the first of many segments. I think the last time I was talking with Jay about this, we decided we are gonna call this the Tellurian News. Um, if you got a better name out for this, let me know in the comments down below, guys. And yeah, so today we're gonna talk about the hard mode dungeons, and man, is there a lot to talk about. Jay, have you tried any so far?
Yeah, I actually have a farm for Dragon hard mode 10, and I also have a spider uh, hard mode 10 as well on farm.
I'm curious. Does your Spider 10 have a hex or no hex?
It's using hex.
Okay, okay. Now I know Jarrett has been popping out some videos lately. I wanted to see the one you did with Cardinal, but what about yourself? Have you been doing any the hard mode dungeons?
Yeah, I've tried to just run, kind of started with the teams that I've been using in the normal dungeons just to see how far we get. And with Dragon, admittedly, we've got pretty far with my I think it's like a Theodore, Dark Cow, that sort of team. That sort of probably got me to about 5 or 6. Only then I had to sort of start changing it up because the dragon hits so hard when you sort of get to him.
Yeah.
The waves just are quite easy to do. I don't know about you guys, but the waves are pretty easy to do. But yeah, and then again with Spider, again you just chuck in as many nukes as you can. But once obviously the first wave goes, you've got to have a plan afterwards if you haven't taken them out. Which is obviously if you're using hex, or for me, which is the burns and then the bombs, like the hits, then you're fine. Finite is the one that I've struggled. It's just even sort of early stages with 15 to 18 hits. It's just really hard unless you've got some sort of counter attack team or real tanky hard team. But that's the one I'm struggling on.
Yeah.
Ice Golem, again, it's not too bad. Again, it's like the burners and that sort of stuff. But I've never been a fan of, probably like most people. Ice Golem is probably the least favourite dungeon anyway. It's only when at that time through Reflex that I actually bothered to run it. Do you know what I mean? So
I don't mind Ice Golem. I think it's pretty good. We'll see how it is. I haven't tested it yet. I think I've just stuck on Spider so far because I want to try to find a budget-friendly team. But and Mr. Tool, how about yourself? Have you done any hard mode dungeons yet?
I did stage 10 on all of them. Actually,
Farms?
yes. I wouldn't.
Ooh.
Farm's a little relative on Fire Night. It's 7-minute runs,
yeah.
but we did. I'm actually using Tila on Ice Golem, and then I made a post-nerf team with 2 Royal Guards for Spider, so I didn't have to worry about it after they nerfed the, well, fixed the Hex double hit thing going on. So just 2 Royal Guards is all you need.
Yeah.
So they fixed it, have they?
No, I
Not
just
yet.
built a team.
Oh, sorry, right, okay.
Because I didn't want to have
I
to
was gonna say.
rebuild it again. Everyone's
Yeah.
like,
When there's something
oh,
wrong with
just
the
use
game, they
Trunda,
fix
just
it.
use Trunda, and I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
So
I feel that the Spider, I mean, I don't even think that they test any of this stuff before they throw it out. I think they just kind of throw it out. But um, I feel Spider, I mean, eventually we'll all find a 30-second farm. And the Hex, I mean, just leave it as is. You know, it's one of the best ways for us to farm silver. So I think leaving it as is probably is a pretty good idea. But um, so I'm actually kind of curious to see what some of your teams are. Now, I've been running on mine, the budget friendly, where I've got my Deacon, Miscreated Monster, Magnar, Vildrax, and Renegade. Jay, what have you had for a team?
For which dungeon?
For Spider Hard Mode 10.
Right now, I'm using Mithrala as the Hex. I'm using Decreased Defense and Weaken with Lydia. I'm actually using Snit Track in the lead. Even though you can't really decrease the speed of the Queen, I'm just pretty much using him as a kind of a blunt so that the AoE spit, because unless you're one-shotting or doing enough damage to kill the tainted lings, you have to basically wait till a whole nother rotation. So I use him kind of like as a tank there. My DPS, I tried one-shotting with Baron. I tried some other champs, but I'm using Tars. Why not use them since I have them? And I'm using Owella to kind of boost her turnier so we don't just get lapped by the Queen. And it takes 2 rotations, but by the second one, I get the nuke and kill her. So
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is where cut to take.
I think this is too much for Discord. Yeah. Is the audio coming out okay for anybody watching us? I don't know.
I'm hearing where you guys fine.
Okay. All right. No, you guys are coming in a little robotic-y on my end, so I don't know if it's recording it the same way. So hopefully not.
I'm actually just using bolster set, bolster and a black debuff champion to tank the first hit.
Yeah.
And then do it again. 25 seconds, easy peasy.
Yeah.
Not like how Haley's got 8 seconds.
Yeah. With Zavia Bellinor trying to thing right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, Magnar is, I want to say, one of the best ones, and I think even after the fix, he's still going to be great for this. I don't want to. I'm trying to stay away from using Kaimars. You know, I feel not everybody's got a Kaimar. Not everybody's got 3 Kaimars like I do. Or how many do you have, Jay?
I just got my first one after 3 years.
Nice.
What about you?
All these teams work.
Yeah, but I've just been trying to find a team that's going to be able to do it reasonably without the Kaimar, and I feel we're going to be looking at a double Renegade comp for anybody who doesn't have a Kaimar, because you're not going to be able to do it. The resets are just too long.
After the disagree. It's just a speed tune issue actually. If your nuker goes, the person that kills the last of the spiders goes last, you will respawn all 10 of them again for the second nuke. This is the only issue. There's any nuker will fill that slot. I'm using two Royal Guards because one didn't kill it and I get the max HP hits. That's the big thing with Royal Guard. So he actually does a 10% to the boss itself. I'm getting 20%. Then I reset again, 40%, plus the 60% from the spiders equals 100%.
So that still
Okay.
works on the spider. Oh,
Yep.
That max HP.
Yep.
Real.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's rare in the past. But they're all capped at 10%, just like above stage 20. So this is the same mechanic. I mean, even people like Auth were working with HP explosions. You still net damage out of HP burns, so you're not stuck into just raw damage dealers. But any raw damage dealer will work. It's just a speed tune issue. I had problems initially doing it because my defense down wouldn't go down on all the spiders. I was like, what's going on here? But I just needed to have 3 people in front of the defense down, or 2 people.
Right.
Sorry, 2 people in front of.
And that's
And
why
then
I
some
run.
nukers.
Yeah, that's why I run Deacon, because Deacon, if you watch, he'll proc all the spiderlings to come down before any damage dealer comes out. So I think, at least for me, what I'm going to present as my next team is going to be uh, Deacon with 2 renegades and either 2 royal guards or 2 husks. I think that's going to be pretty sufficient.
Yep,
But
and I think Husk is going to be an obvious budget option there. Like, he's also going to be able to tank that first hit a lot easier. Like Jay and Jarek were saying, like you need somebody to deal with that first hit. Like,
Right.
You're going to be no way to one-shot the boss. Assume that it works properly. You read the path that they only do 3% damage when they explode. Like there's no mathematical way to kill the boss in one cycle anymore.
right, right,
So,
right.
Yeah, even if you're still speed, indeed, you still always say you can't. You shouldn't be one-shotting it. You shouldn't be one-shotting. You've got to
it's not
hit him
possible.
hard and then wait.
Yeah.
And then this is again, which is where I think even the Duchess in a stone's going to be great because he do the hit, everyone gets taken out.
I actually
and then
tested
bring
it
back,
with
but-
Elva. Really, any block debuff champion or Lydia in a shield set with like 60k HP is enough to take the boss if you're not a squishy royal guard. So tanking that hit, I don't think is going to be very difficult for people, especially if you use any champions like a Husks or stuff like that. They're just going to have enough HP, and if you don't, throw in a shield set or 2.
Yeah,
Right.
I think the spider was only hitting roughly between 60 to 70k tops like every time. So
Right.
Yeah.
Manageable enough, at least.
Definitely.
Unlike the Fire Knight.
Yeah, you could probably just put a strengthen in there, something like that, and then you're probably
Yeah,
doing
so
well.
I was gonna think about testing with Mithrala, opening with the increased defense and then cleansing afterwards instead of using a black debuff champion, but I didn't want to use Hex right now until they fixed all of that. But that's basically gonna be the trick, because if you don't have somebody that's gonna resist that first sleep or something, you're just gonna skip your second turn. So you need debuffs or somebody that's gonna stop that, like a Mithrala.
Yeah, when I was running the 2 Kaimars, I was having trouble because one would often get hit with a sleep, and then you miss your turn.
So the sleep is actually the last person to go is the one that takes the sleep. Just fun fact, if you guys didn't know, when you're doing your speed tune, it is the last person in the speed tune that takes it.
Right, which basically doesn't matter who it is, that's a problem. Because it's
Yeah.
either your nuker or your reset or your debuff, or you
Well-
know what I mean? Like the order in that which that happens is never convenient.
So you could always use Doom Priest and have her be the last one. So then because I was trying to mess with the I watched who was it that was doing it? Taraku had one out what he was using Alva, and I was like, okay, I can try to make it something like that, but do like a little more budget friendly version. And I had Doom Priest in there, and she would cleanse the buff. She would bring the increased attack for both the Royal Guards, and then you run in with the 2 renegades or the 1 renegade, and that would work. But yeah, so
We could put Leo in because he can't be effective with the sleep, could he? So you can make him the slowest.
that is
to go,
true.
and,
That
yeah,
is
that'd be
true.
good.
So you could throw a Leoris in. So everybody seems to be on the same page so what are we thinking for a decreased defense champion?
I think
think-
it's Ghostborn. Like it's Ghostborn or Lydia. It's one of those 2 options basically, because the weaken is going to make it easier for you to actually kill the spiders and stuff
Okay.
like that, depending on where you are stat wise. If you can, like with Ghostborn, it actually worked out really nicely that one of my Royal Guards didn't kill all of the spiders with 182, because then I got to line up the second one to kill everything with it and it all timed out nicely with the second turnaround also, and where my Ghostborn would still apply defense down on every single spider. So that was one benefit of that. But if you're using a traditional nuker like Leo, who just has 2 AoEs, who could just kill both waves by himself, you know what I mean? You could definitely leverage that differently.
So
That's it.
let's take the end game aspect, and let's take all of us that have been playing for 2+ years and bring it back a step to where a decent portion of the community does not have all the champs we have, right? So there's a lot of players out there that don't have Lydia yet. And so let's take a step back and let's think more, not free to play, but more achievable champions that if somebody has been playing for the past year would have for a decreased defense champion. Let's go about it that way.
I mean, any champion that also brings decreased attack, I think is going to be more valuable than champions that are doing decreased defense and weaken for early accounts. This is going to be easier for you to tank these hits. Stagnite is a great example. Duck. I think utilizing that aspect is going to be more important paired with decreased defense in a more budget situation.
So,
so
really, Stagnite would work.
Yeah, Stagnite would absolutely work.
So so Stagnite would be an MVP for this. Okay.
Yeah.
He comes around to it pretty quick, and he's just so good everywhere. Really, it's great.
Right, a great investment in general.
And if you pull in, if people are actively pulling during times 2, you should be getting epics. I mean, they're pretty easy to fill out. If you can at least get 10, 20, ancient shards every sort of times 2, you should be getting at least half a dozen or more epics. And fingers crossed, eventually after a year's playing, you should be racking up a few. So,
thankfully, Spider is the most accessible for most accounts in this aspect, where it was the least accessible for most people otherwise. So once you pass 25, it actually gets easier as opposed to the other dungeons, which I think is a little weird also. I think a lot of people will be doing 10 faster than they were doing 25, for instance.
That is true. Yeah, I do feel that 10 is way easier to do than 25 was. 100%, because 25, whether you like it or not, you need that HP burn. It's very difficult to do anything without an HP burn. So,
and I think if you look at the way the game kind of makes you play, you do then kind of focus a lot on arena. Once you get to a certain point, then you think, well, I better start doing arena, and you build your arena team up. Nuker will possibly be involved with your clan boss, that sort of stuff. So I think you'd have a big nuker probably before you'll have a decent sort of burner team.
I agree.
In my opinion.
So we feel so Stagnite would be a good one. I still say I think Deacon's going to be MVP. I think Deacon is going to be the one that every team's going to have. He's accessible, fairly easy. Well, I don't want to say
the code. Yeah, I mean, if you started the game,
if you're a new player, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
But I feel Deacon and I like Deacon because he allows all the spiderlings to come down at one time. So if your team isn't good enough to be able to down all the spiderlings with the first hit, he's going to allow you to be able to bring in that second nuker with the double reset. Because again, I hate to say it. I mean, again, we all have Kymars. We a lot of the accounts have them, but the most free to play.
I don't think you're gonna need a double reset. You're not gonna need a double reset. It's just completely not needed whatsoever in any situation.
Well, okay. Let's say let's
just want to kind of get through it. Then yeah, you're right. You probably don't need it.
Okay.
Like, you just use any nuker that has a 3-turn cooldown, and you blow up 2 waves. That's all you do. There's no need. If you're bringing in, if you need 2 people to do 1 in each wave, then you can just eliminate the reset, basically, and you run 2 defense downs, somebody with a shield set, and 2 nukers, and then you just nuke the first wave, set up the second wave, nuke it. Like, a double reset just doesn't make sense in this at all.
So
unless you're trying to use somebody with like a 5-turn cooldown. Like, Royal Guard's got a 4-turn on his A2,
well, yeah.
and so does Husk.
Royal Guard and Husk both have 4-turn cooldown, so I think Yeah, what else would you do? I mean, I tried working out using the sisters, right, with their A1s. Basically
You
having an
also
ally.
have White Dryad Nia, who resets one champion for 3 turns. Champions like that that we can start utilizing. Or you just use somebody with 2 AoEs and White Dryad Nia to reset your defense down.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Okay.
So
That's pretty good.
like there are other options. People just haven't gotten there yet. And really, I think with the way that hex and double hits are right now, it's not incentivizing people to do it. Like why try and make a different team when we could just abuse this right now? You know, it's just
That's
like
it.
most marketing. You know, find a problem, find a solution, and abuse it. Like,
Yes, yes, but I mean, I would like to find a long-term solution. Like I was doing
which is
one
why I
comp
did the Royal
where
Guard
I
thing.
had I had Seer in there. I had Seer miscreated in the shield set, and then I had no, I had yeah, I had basically this team going out, and that seemed to actually work pretty well. I had the miscreated with the shield set, or no, the renegade with the shield set, the miscreated and the bolster set, so I could still absorb the hit afterwards. Um, and then that was still enough to nuke the rest of the spiderlings for Seer, and then she'd actually. The thing is, you needed without a deacon, you need to make sure that you have whoever is going to go again, speed tune properly, so they get to go first, and then the second person takes out the nuke. If you're gonna go with like a 4 turn.
Hmm. Yep, and that was what I ended up having to happen. I mean, the other option is you can use somebody with an extra turn in their kit, but that has a
Actually,
4 turn nuke. Works
Nick
twice.
Nick just brought up a good idea. Nick just brought up Painkeeper.
Yep.
I think
Mm.
that could actually work. Um,
I mean,
so you
Painkeeper's not going to be better than Renegade because you're just going to need 2 resets at that point still. Like,
well,
you
if you bring in your
just use
Painkeeper,
people with 3 turn cooldowns though. Like you bring in somebody with 2 3 turn cooldowns and an HP burn. Now you're also netting more damage.
yes. Again, this is where I feel a lot of us. I had a viewer that made a comment that some of the CCs are a little disconnected from what most players are. Um, and I'm guilty myself. I've whaled out, so I have a lot more accessibility to a lot of these champions that a lot of players don't. And so that kind of got me thinking, like, okay, well, obviously, a lot of players aren't going to be able to get to the nukage power that I have, or a lot of the other content creators. So we got to kind of, figure something to scale it back, to bring it back down.
I
Um,
killed the spiders with the 200 crit damage Magna.
well,
They're not hard to kill.
well,
Yeah, but I think that's the double hitter bug. I think it's more like a
No,
bug
well,
with
no,
double
but
hitters
like
than
the damage that ends up happening to the
Mm,
main spider is what is bugged. The amount of
yeah,
damage that Magnar does is still going to be the same.
sure.
They're not
Yeah.
changing any of those, so his killing power will still be the same. He will still kill the
Mm,
spiders the exact same. So
yeah, the same with my Hefrick. He
well,
just blitzes through it for some reason. And you just see these half a mil, 600k stacking, stack, and he just, and then the spider just drops. This is
mhm.
crazy.
so
And
I
that's again,
mean,
there's no hex.
I mean, HP burn is also another free code that you can use when you start the game. Like you can literally start with Mordecai.
Mm,
So I don't think that these things are inaccessible to anybody really.
yeah,
so
Your
I mean,
starters start
Yeah.
with the 3 turn cooldown nuke.
yeah.
I
I
almost
don't
guarantee I could get to kill it, you know?
I don't think with the hex the Magna is gonna work. Honestly, I mean, I have a pretty
I
solid
ran it
build.
without X.
Did you run it with any other champions as well along with them? Any other
Yeah,
enemy max HP?
yeah, I ran a Cold Heart, I ran a Royal Guard.
Okay, so you were running another
I
champion with
ran,
him.
and then you can also run a burner, like I was saying. Yes, 2 kills of the waves don't kill the spider. It's only 60% damage. You still have another 40% to go. Like, you can't get around that.
Yeah, so I reckon though when they fix the bug, I reckon they're going to fix the HP burn doesn't seem to do that much healing either. I reckon they'll increase the healing with
Correct.
regards to the burn as well.
Yeah.
because
Right.
it
Right,
just
because
tips down too much.
yeah, you can do some, but it doesn't stop the burn damage. That's for sure.
They have they haven't actually said anything like specifically since I speak with them a little bit on personal basis in terms of HP burn. They're considering it, but they when it comes to the hex and like that's gonna be done very soon. Probably what's today, Sunday? It's probably gonna be Monday or Tuesday.
I'm hoping
when
they
get
wait
back
till
to the
after
office, so.
CVC. I'm hoping they
It'd be
wait till
hex
after
is
CVC.
The hex is clearly not working as intended. You read the spider's kit, like it's very clear at how much damage should be done, right? You read the
Yes.
spider's kit, it's very clear at how much damage should be healed when he takes a burn. You know what I mean? So like it's very different when you're talking about should it be fixed, should it not be fixed. I think the burns are just as they intended. I think people are gonna be able to use old champions that they were already using, which is great. I thought we saw that in both Ice Golem and in Dragon. People were already using large parts of the teams that they were already using, and now even with Spider, if they can still make people like Sissy viable or your irresistible HP burners that people have been invested into for a long time, I think that's great. I don't think limiting those strategies is a wiser choice. Because you still have to beat 25 to get to hard mode. Like you still have had to have had the other champions, so it's not like these dungeons should be more accessible than normals either. Like you still have to go through all the hoops of beating normal to get into hard. So
Right.
how many early game people are actually even going to be in hard mode either, or even mid game people? Spider's the most accessible of the hard modes on that, and I think Dragon 25 is actually kind of hard when you're talking about a mid game account. Those waves smack. If you don't have a seer to just like jump right past them, they smack, man.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Or like a Duchess to carry, something like that. So I think there's going to be less mid-game people doing this content than we think as well. So I think people are going to have more tools to attack it with.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right on that. We got a question here from Nick. He's asking technical question: should mid-game gamers still be economical to farm stage 20 as a mid-game, or should excuse me, as a mid-gamer you should have many other possibilities, clan boss, doom tower, etc. So I'm guessing you're asking us, should you be farming the stage 20s or you should be moving into the hard mode dungeons? I'll pass it over to Jay first. What are your thoughts?
I was actually helping someone off stream, and I'm gonna post real quick. I did this. I'm gonna post this little in the chat here if you guys want to look at. But these are gonna be pretty much the top nukers for Legos or epics. I went through every single champion, multipliers, and we kind of like Magnar's there, of course, Hefrak's there. You guys can just check that out. But in terms of other champions like Deacon and coming up with unique comps, yeah, I think there's gonna be a lot. That's what's gonna be really cool. But in terms of nukers, I put that in chat. I was helping them out. They were on stage like 17 Spider, and they were like, man, I want to start. There's a Spider tournament going on. There's the Supreme Elhane. I want to be able to like start going into Harmon. I'm like, whoa, slow down. Like you're a great haul. You didn't even go for straight accuracy first. Like you got some resist and crit and like HP and crit damage. Like it's gonna hard to reach those levels. Plus you have to master all your champions, book them, and because they didn't have that many books. So I was like, well, let's get to the 20s first. You're gonna want to farm a decent amount there. I mean, most of us farmed it for like a year,
Right.
and then once you get a good amount of gear, you want to focus on your Clammos. That's gonna give you a lot of free rewards, right? Ultra Nightmare, try to get there as soon as possible. Then once you have a little bit of immortal gear and then your regular gear, then you can start pushing the 25s. Once you have enough champions, like let's say built out for faction wars, or they're like maybe 50, but you're considering them getting to 60. Now it's time to go for 25s. You can't just go straight into hard. No way. You gotta get some good gear from 25s. Now, if you're talking about just doing tournaments and events, what's better for you efficiently? Still 20s. Unless you're like end game, there's no point in doing 25. It's gonna cost you too much. Just keep doing 20s faster. You save more time playing the game, and you save energy as well if you're free to play. So, I'm trying to get people to kind of like put their foot in the door. Like I was trying to see if he was doing Dragon 25. He couldn't do Spider 20, but he could do he was doing Spider 17. but he was doing Dragon 25. So I said, let's see if we could push that team into hard. We got to stage 1. Unfortunately his ninja wasn't fully booked, but we got freezes on 4 champions. It only took 1 champion to one-shot his Duchess, and then our run was just done that fast. I was like, wow. So that was wave smack.
Yeah.
What about you, Jarek? What would your suggestion be?
It's I think for tournaments, if you're at that stage, then yes, definitely. I'd still stick for 20 as well. I can do a 20 run. I think in about 8 seconds. But also, again, if you're not even at 20, then you should be hitting 10, because then you're going to get that little bug where you get more sort of 5-star gear from Spider 10. So I think if you're even struggling with 20, if your 20 run isn't less than really 30 seconds, and hit that on also, and because there's some weird thing in the drops where you get more 5-star gear in Spider 10 than you do any other place apparently, so it's a bit odd. But yeah, definitely should not be racing towards hard. I mean, it's everyone's thinking, oh, mythical, gotta get moments, it's going to be the new thing. So far I've probably had about 40 drops from mythical, and I've probably binned half of them. I've got 5 rolled up good, the rest are pretty average. It's not kind of the next thing. Definitely not in a weekend. It's not today. Maybe in 3 months, 6 months, then mythical's going to be kind of taking over. Maybe even beating stuff from Forge, but I don't think at the moment anyone's got anything to worry about. They just still stick to what they're comfortable at, and energy-wise, 20 is still probably the way to go.
Okay, Thule, thoughts?
So, I first tackled this same question. More of a math guy. So I just went and looked at the drop rates, and I was like, what is the difference between 20 and 25? How much am I actually missing out if I farm on 20? And it actually is so small. So you lose about 20 epic pieces, 6-star or higher, 6-star epic and legendary pieces combined per 10,000 energy that you run. And that's not in a set that matters. That's just any set that drops. Okay, so you're talking about 1 to 3 pieces in a set that you care about per 10,000 energy at a 6-star epic or higher rate. Okay, your 5-star your 5-star rare rate is basically the same, and so it basically comes down to which is better for your account. Okay, look at your gear. Is rares an upgrade for you? And be realistic. I use a lot of rare savage, a lot. Like anything that starts with 2 good stats and rolls into a good one, I'm keeping it. Like you never know what is gonna be the perfect combination to fill your build. Maybe you need 19% crit rate instead of 16%. You know what I mean? And just having that rare weapon with that on it, even though you may lose a little of attack or whatever, you have a complete build now, and so it ends up being better. So in sets that matter, I still keep a lot of those things. And a lot of people look at farming in that, oh, well, I'm only going to be looking at mythical gear. It's not true, even close. The bread and butter of almost every single build is a 6-star epic quality or higher, or like right there. Okay, and that's looking at a piece that has 3 starting stats that work, and it rolled into 3 stats that you want. So now you have 6 total stats. 6 total rolls on that piece that piece is contributing to your build. So if you have a Lego piece that has a useless stat on it, and you get all 4 of your rolls that the piece has into the 3 stats you care about, you only have 7 rolls. You're only 1 extra roll ahead of that 6-star epic piece, even though it's a Lego piece. Well, same thing applies to mythical. If you get a junk stat, you get your extra roll into the junk stat, and then you also get any extra rolls into that piece isn't a mythical piece. It's a 6-star epic. And so you start looking at gear like that, it makes it way different. Where should I be farming? What is an actual upgrade for me? And that's where I looked at it. And so I farmed 20 for every single fusion to this day until they release hard modes now. A hard 10 is better than 20 as far as tournament points. I ran, 97 runs, and I got almost 2,000 points in Spider yesterday. Like you don't get that on 20 even. Like you're actually getting 1-to-1 for your energy for points. Like you get like 0.9, 0.85, something like that on 20 right now. Like you get pretty close, but not quite. So matching what you can do to the events you're doing and to what is an upgrade is really the true answer. And it's only something that you can answer to yourself, right? Like some people are like, oh, I have enough energy, I'm gonna get more energy, I'm just gonna farm 25, because eventually that is gonna be the upgrade. You know, there's no comparison if I have enough. But do you know how much that is? I mean, I know guys that have put 250,000 energy into Fire Knight, and they're no farther ahead than anybody that farmed 20.
Yeah. So my thought is pretty much the same. Through all the fusions, I do stage 20 on Spider. I've got a 9-second team. I just let it go. I don't farm food with it, although I could. And I think that's kind of where I look at it, where it's now that they're doing these events where it's like 2 and 3 times, or actually it's been 3 times, I'll farm the hard mode because I want to try to get that better gear. But for a day-to-day general perspective, doing fusions and stuff like that, it's still going to be 20 or 25. I have my Battle Khazar that's built for Fire Knight and Spider, not Fire Knight and Spider, Fire Knight and Dragon, and he can solo it with 4 food. So it's all about just the double dip at this point. But I think we're all in agreement here that staying with the stage 20, unless they're doing, you know, a particular upgrade event, is probably your best bet there, Nick. I know we gave you a long answer, but you got the perspective from 4 different players.
For sure.
Okay, so I think we gave Spider some good time. Let's move on to Ice Golem. As you can see, I haven't really done much. But Jay, actually, we started with Jay on the last one, so we'll start with Jarek. How did you tackle Ice Golem?
I think I started with a Seer team that had poisons. It was still sort of poison stuff, and it was just, I think Theodore was still tanking through it. But as I said, I'm not really. I mean, I can quickly have a look. I've got my radio in front of me. Let me have a look. Let me see what my last team were run, because it's one of those. It's the dungeon I've not really been that bothered about. So I'm only on stage 4, so I mean, I've not really. Yeah, so I was running the Theodore Dark Cow. This is pretty much almost the same team. I think the first few even started with Eleanor blown up, but then it got to the point where it just wasn't happening. I think I switched them out for Seer, maybe a Krisk, I'm not sure, but it's I'm still not quite there. The times aren't great. I mean, I've got like a 1.5 minute, up to 3 minutes, then to 4 minutes. So it's one I've got to kind of knuckle down on really, and just take a look. But if I let's have a look. Teams of the week. They haven't talked about teams of the week yet, but not sure. I know. I think everyone's saying burners is the way to go. I've just got to. I like to kind of have one dungeon have a kind of team that's set to go there. Another dungeon's got another team to kind of go there. I try to get that kind of niche area, so I need to work out which burner I'm going to put in there. I know someone said, is it Drang? I think Drang's maybe
Walking Tomb Drang, yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah, he should be good.
So I'm not building at all really. He's still sitting in the vaults and got him perfection 6-star, but not much else. So perhaps it's his time to come out and play. So we'll see.
Okay. Yeah. Jay, how about you?
Oh, as we speak, I'm actually pushing Ice Golem right now.
Like, hold on, I'll tell you in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just, you know me, IG pain, right? Exclamation IG pain. Like I made a song about it and everything. I just hated Ice Golem, like I've always have. But it took me to last year, at the end of last year, to actually get a really fast time, like 110 on 25. So Ice Golem for me, like even with hard modes, is not something that I'm gonna push, prioritize. I'd rather go Fire Knight That's why I went Dragon and Spider because those are most important for me right now. But then I want to go Fire Knight next and focus on that. Ice Golem, yeah, it's nice that they added burns and decrease enemy max speed, which I would actually having to bring the the gear set or the abilities to decrease enemy max. That's nice that it's just built into the mechanic, which is amazing. Then you can just bring block revive. So armigers, Phoenixes, Folies, Zavias. You could probably get maybe a combination of AoE HP burn and like poison explosion comp maybe to come work. But for me, I haven't really gone too crazy. And I doubt many people are going to go like ham and spend lots of energy because the gear sets still, they haven't updated a lot of them, right? Like there's still life, attack and crit. I mean, there's reflex, which is nice. Yeah, mythical reflex sounds really good, and maybe provoke and some other ones. But it's just a lot of sets. I wish they would patch it up. Maybe slightly. You don't have to like make it insane because there's a lot of Doom Tower like similar artifact sets that are supposed to be the upgraded version of them, but or just slightly change them, make them little unique in a sense. Like life could have the same, maybe a percent or two more, with also having a little bit like 1% extra HP per turn that healed something. Just
I mean,
anything personally.
Right? They could sort of put life, heal yourself or increase your HP, but maybe do like a 2% heal for the team or something. So I mean, just to sort of inspire us to actually bother with these old sets that have been replaced by Immortal and
right.
Basically anything. Do you know what I mean? But this is Plarium. There's almost zero imagination.
I don't care. Deal with it.
Jay, I got a specific question for you. We all know your love of hatred to Seer. How do you plan on getting through this without a Seer? Especially because poisons aren't exploding and won't really help you, as you can see. My Bad Alcazar isn't really doing that much in this run.
Actually, I'm using him right now, and I'm on a 27-minute run, and my battle is still going. So the way that it's working is we're procking the brimstones, and we're also using a Warmaster, and the boss can't kill my battle because of regen and just because of the kit alone, right? So it's a long and steady. It's not something I recommend, but I'm just doing it while we're recording here. But yeah, I do have a Seer, which makes me wonder, is 2023 the year that I'm going to use Seer, or will I just sacrifice her and just keep using Taurus, right? But yeah, I mean, I'm going to probably do it anyways because as a content creator, I should show people how to use different Seer comps. But primarily, I'm just burning everything. Like I have a Walking Tomb Drain, I have Ninja, Chronems on the way. So and then hopefully maybe Ultimate Gallic, Supreme Gallic would be a really huge champion here as well. Not only just Hydra, right? So
he's going to be next week's project, next week's topic. We're not even getting into the legendaries yet.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good shout actually with Chronom. That's a real good shout.
Chronom is the bee's knees for Ice Golem for sure.
Yeah, I do have him. I might have to and Dumasa. Them two together.
Who wants to do some referrals?
What about you, Thule? What has your progression been so far?
I didn't have a whole lot of hard time with Ice Golem. Just like most hard things, you bring decreased attack, and it kind of just rolls over. So I use Nishak and Tila, and it just kind of goes down real quick. Bombs avoid the passive also, and then you burn it. She has the extra heals. Yeah, and then you bring decreased attack with Nish and pow 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 pow. It's like 2-minute team.
So the bombs do good damage.
Oh yeah. And then they don't turn into poisons on the boss, but they turn into poisons on the ads, so it kills them faster too.
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder. Mr. Siege is asking if he can use his ninja build from Sand Devils in this. What are your thoughts?
Ninja actually procs the passive.
Oh.
So you gotta be ninja. Yep.
What if you do
activation? Apparently, well, the way the ninja does it, he proc the passive apparently, supposedly, allegedly, but Dragon doesn't. So I don't know.
Okay. What if I wonder if we'd be able to make a comp where you have the same two Walking Tomb Drain and what is it? Who's the other one that does the Godseeker and Eerie? If maybe they can two-man it. If you built like a really solid walking Tombjang and a Godseeker, I mean,
I was actually using my Ursuga and Tila before I used Rat, because she has the passive also, and she puts ally protect on Tila.
okay.
So that worked out pretty well too. So there's going to be a lot of options. I think even like Venomage is going to be strong.
Okay.
Yes, I've actually only recently realised how good Venomage can be in some of these dungeons. It's,
And it's just going to be for like the damage mitigation part, because obviously you can't poison the boss.
Right,
So,
right.
I know Educated Potato was actually just using Geo. He uses Geo and Duchess together, and they kill the boss, no problem. So really, just any sustain champion and a little bit of damage mitigation, and you'll be cruising. Just like the normal Ice Golem, though, you can just one shot you if the ads are alive. It doesn't matter who you have on the team. So it's just really tuning the very beginning of your fight to get it down to 2 champions or 1 champion to go one-on-one with the boss. Because if you don't do that, then you're just gonna have inconsistencies, and that's where people have the hardest time with Ice Golem, really.
yeah. So
Yeah.
if you can tune Nishek and Xavier, that could probably work pretty well. Taking out those minions
Yep.
and have her squish enough just to drop, and then have someone else just keep fighting Geomancer and Duchess, something like that.
So, okay. So we need, I guess, the 3 key components that we're just going to make sure we have to have for this dungeon is decrease attack. Well, you don't really care about decrease defense, so you want decrease attack, heals, and HP burn. And 2 of those are covered by Tila, right? So
Yep.
I guess she's
an
finally got
HP
her.
champion.
She's
Yeah,
got her.
she's turned into a very most wanted champ, actually.
I love my Tila ever since the
Complete
buff.
turnaround.
What about
Yeah.
what about
Hey, like 3
Drexstar?
months ago.
I think Drex is a classic, and I think he will be excellent. He's just gonna be slow, flat out. Even with my Tila, I was doing like 4-minute runs with just her, so it's gonna take a while. That's the big thing.
Yeah, yeah. No. Okay. So
Yeah. I think Geo will probably end up getting into the fast runs. Probably.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think Geo will be a very big proponent here, because once you get down to the one-on-one, you don't really have a lot of ways to get the burns to start going. And once the ads are dead, and if you skip the revive, or like your Lydia, if you're running Lydia with the Seer team, she blocks the revive attempt, stuff like that, the fight takes forever. It just takes a ton of time. So you need somebody to start speeding that up, and that's why I brought Nish in myself, because I can activate the bombs while we're doing that slow one-on-one kind of thing, and it just felt more controlled. But yeah.
yeah, I feel like a team what are running right now is probably going to be substitute a reset champion, but I think this is probably what's going to be needed. I think you guys are correct in saying that Geomancer is going to be needed. I mean, unfortunately, yeah,
King
yeah.
Geo, he still reigns, man. He's taken that crown of King Epic. Like, he is so good everywhere you put him, and they just keep giving him more places to be good.
Yeah. Let me ask you guys a quick question. If you had to pick between Geo or Seer for your account, who would you pick?
Oh, Geo. It's not even
Yeah,
close.
Geo.
It's not even close. Geo deals
Okay.
with bosses, so Seer deals with not bosses. Bosses are the hard part.
Seer gets you to the bosses. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
That's true.
Eventually.
That's true. Yeah.
I know a lot of people early on that can't use their Seer either. She's just junk. There's no
That
point in
is-
investing.
Favorite
her.
kids, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is-
And, you know, and by the time she's
Which
useful,
one?
you could just blow the waves up. Oops, sorry. You could just blow the waves up anyways. So, like,
That's true.
she's saving you a couple seconds at best, 20, 30 seconds, you know? But
Okay. All right. So we've done Spider, we've done Ice Golem. I think the most controversial one is going to be Fire Knight, so we'll leave that one to the end. Let's move on to Dragon. Thule, how are you doing in Dragon?
I actually had a lot of fun with Dragon. I got to use my Stultus
Ooh, okay.
Nobody knows that Stultus, not even myself, until one of my viewers told me, has a passive that reflects decreased defense, weaken, and poisons on whoever tries to put them on him. You put him with any other support champion and he can't die. So I put my Mithrala in there, 44-second runs.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
Have you posted a video out about that yet or no?
No, I didn't. Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
So
We're gonna have
guys,
the spider video
when-
first
when-
because
when
everyone's
we're-
gonna need a rebound steam.
when me, Jay, and Jarek are all done from stream, we're gonna go record a video and post it and take the credit for it. Okay. So you seem so you got Stultus. How are you clearing the waves with the Seer or okay?
Yeah,
You using Lydia or
Ghostborn.
Ghostborn?
I have a Ghostborn. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
he is the way. Consistency at least. So when I can, I use them.
Okay. And are you just using not Ghostborns, Stultus's passive for the decreased in defense, or how are you bringing the dragon down? Poisons or
He reflects the poisons.
he reflects the. I thought the poison.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And then Mithrala has poisons on her A1. My Mithrala's in regen now.
Is that how the passive is supposed to work though?
Yeah.
Yeah, it says here, look, whenever an enemy attempts to place a weaken debuff, a decreased defense debuff, or a poison debuff on this champion, reflects them back onto the attacker, and then damage increases by 5%.
He needs no resistance, no accuracy.
Oh
and
my
with HP
god!
defense. No books,
Yeah.
no masteries.
A lot of people are using Yumiko, Riho Bone Spears, Stultus to reflect the poisons back to the boss. Then they use champions like Jing Wang or someone who extends the poisons. That person solos, and then you have like a 40-second run.
Oh, wow. You actually get to use that at Jingwong now. I mean, blimey.
Yeah, people were using Jing Wang on the normal dragon too, but it was just kind of like a gimmicky thing. It's like, oh hey, we can
Sure.
cleanse the stun off.
Oh, man.
You know.
I wonder if there's going to be a way to make it so Stultus solos this all the way through.
I had him with 90k HP, 5k defense, and he wouldn't solo.
Yeah. Maybe if
He
you
needs
pair
the
him with
shield.
like, what about pairing him with like a Ultimate Death Knight?
I'm sure. Yes. You just need somebody to give him more than his max HP, so that
Okay.
he can take a hit every once in a while. Otherwise, he doesn't heal back up to full. You can't mitigate the damage enough.
Yeah.
I think the boss hits like 30k on an A1. Like,
Wow.
it's just too much. Even with increased defense and strengthen, like without the shield from Mithrala, he wouldn't live. There was no chance. My Mithrala, I was trying to do it without her and bolster or anything like that, and then I ended up switching her. I don't really use her for PvP anyways, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dragon.
Jarek Gaming, what about you? How have you been doing? And
Poisons again. It's that team just seems to keep working. Again, it's Theodore, Dark Cow, and Calvalax, and I had Krisk as a bit of a kind of damage buff, damage negating sort of the damage and stuff like that. And then I think like Kaimar. I think Kaimar might have been there just to get through the waves, and then it was just say Theodore. It's probably Theodore and Krisk ended up being the last two. Just sort of going against the dragon. I mean, I think I got 10 down to 1 minute 42. But I could easily they change it up now. Stultus is Stultus.
It's like, wait, hold on.
That team sorted out.
I thought, and of course, one of my troll viewers, he's like, he never says anything serious in his life. He's like, yeah, you Stultus.
Oh.
That's a great.
Nobody
No,
knew
I love that
Stultus
you-
had a passive that reflected poisons.
Yeah. 'Cause, I mean, where else would you use it? I mean, who
Right,
else would you
exactly.
drop
I was
in
like,
there?
I mean, I have one, but why?
Except for, I suppose, the early spider, normal spider. But even then, if you use them as your tank, but it's,
Yep.
it's mad.
Yeah.
It's
Uh,
good. That's good. So,
Jay, what about you? How have you been dealing with it?
I use Walking Tomb Ring, Mithrala, and Lydia.
Just a 3-man
And I
comp?
use like I use Tars to blow up the waves and Kaimar to reset for the burns.
Okay. Okay.
My Walking Tomb Dragon's already in like a Sand Devil build, so he can just take it.
Okay. So I tried. I think I got through the first 7 stages with a solo build from Bad Alcazar. And I think that's where it stopped working for me. Stage 7 is the first one where I was like, okay, I gotta actually build a team, but I didn't find it too difficult. I still feel the poisons are going to be best, and I'm liking the idea of Celtis. I didn't even think about Celtis, so I think I might be coming out with something like that soon.
But this is definitely the beauty of these new dungeons. At least it's given us opportunities to dust off some of these champs that we've just had sitting around.
Yeah.
Or find these abilities that we had no idea existed.
Oh, like people are starting to use that Kentum cat in Fire Knight now. So the boss itself, because you need so many hits to break the shield, and there's not really the freeze isn't working the way that people want it to. People are actually just using toxic sets with people with 3-hitter A1s so they can deal damage over time. They make it happen from there. But
Yeah,
Kentum just
I've not touched Fire Knight yet. I'm kind of
it's
dreading it.
so tough. It's so
I know.
tough. Check out my video.
I know that they swapped, or they changed the speed because it was too low, I guess, or something like that. So now they had to buff the speed, so that is gonna make it get incredibly difficult. Who's
You can run 2 Calvalex, you'll be laughing, because he gets his poisons on before he raises his shields, so and these are hit. So if you can get 2 Calvalex,
so the Calvalax's
yeah,
poisons
you
are
get the Calvalex poisons on, and then someone to pop the poisons, and that's 8 hits straight away off of the shield. But I've only got
Actually,
one Calvalex,
seeing
so.
Cold Heart make a comeback is the fastest Fire Knight 10 team that I saw. Was Cold Heart, because he had a 4-hit A1 and has heal reduction.
but that's a how does that work? Is it still a 7-minute run?
3 minutes.
Stage 10 hard mode, 3 minutes.
Yep. I don't know how they deal with the Riho. That's the thing I can't figure out. The Riho crits like 100k on her A2, and if you don't kill her or stun her on the first round, which she reflects the first debuff that you try to put on her, she heals the whole wave all the way to full. I don't know how they deal with the Riho. I've seen I saw the picture, and I'm like, okay. I tried the team, and I was like,
Interesting.
okay.
Interesting. Yeah, I think this is the dungeon that's I think Educated. I was watching him on stream, and he's got like a 7-minute run. Speaking to the devil.
Yep.
Team isn't 100% though.
Yeah. I don't think there's any 100% teams on 10 yet.
Yeah, I think that's going to be one of the dungeons where it's leave on overnight, let your phone run, and try to farm it at a 8-minute run, because it's not going to. I don't know.
I even put my Valk at 350 speed, and she couldn't get her shield up for the second time in time. She's still getting cut. It returned me to boosting masteries and everything. Like, could not get her fast enough to solo a shield.
Yeah.
So, boss is overtuned. It's just plain and simple. Like, I can understand where they were going, but it's just too. You can't counteract it. Like,
You're gonna have to wait a few minutes, Margaret. I'm still streaming. I'm recording right now, baby. No. You're gonna have to wait. Okay. Margaret, go out. Margaret, you need to go now. I'll be with you in a minute. Stop now. You're gonna get punished. I told you when the door's closed. I'm recording. Go. Well, it is. I'm still recording. So, stop. When I come out, we'll deal with it. Okay. Margaret, go now, please. Give me 20 minutes. Close the door. Close the door.
Your whole team gets hit. He does one hit. Geo
Wow.
does one hit.
Jesus.
What about? I mean, I know. I was trying to think like in the early days when I used to do Fire Night with that rare. Was it Rick Warden and Fellhound? Just wondered what their. But even then, it's only going to be one slap, 5 if you're lucky, 4 or 5.
Yep.
And then you still got another, well, at least 10 to get through.
Yeah, it's
and then
tough.
you're gonna get, if you've got reflect damage like a Valk, then that's another 4 or 5. And you've still got 5 to go, so you need at least, let's say, a triple hitter or.
Yeah, it's the combination of needing both ally and counter attack to even break the shield, and then also apply your debuffs. Because if you're hitting into the shield, you can't apply any debuffs to deal with the freaking boss. You can't freeze
like
it,
a Skull Lord.
anything like that.
You just get real good RNG with a Skull Lord. He just sits there
Yeah,
like-
wait for Fushan to put 19 hits on him in one
That's it,
shot. Like, so.
So actually, go ahead, Jay.
Some champions that people have been really abusing are Gory, Yakarl, Shiramani, some other very strong champions like that.
Yep. I got them to work all the way up until stage 6, which is basically the speed at which the test server was. So the mechanics that they wanted you to use work at the speeds that they put them in. So they either need to just reduce the boss's speed, which makes more other strats viable, or they need to make freeze do more.
Yep.
Man.
Right.
One or the other.
Yeah, it needs an increase, more turn meter coming off. Because again, I was using Shiramani, and it was, I think I was weak hitting most of the time as well, and it just wasn't making a real difference. It just a 10th, even a 5th maybe of the turn meter.
And even with the ally attacks, like I was running Yakarl, Shiramani, and Gory. I was running all 3 of them. The problem was the waves were so long. But even then, when I got to the boss after 9.5 minutes, like they couldn't keep it down even with the 3 of them and the ally attack. So I don't know how you're supposed to manage this on 10.
It's definitely going to be a difficult dungeon for everybody. I don't foresee it unless you've got mythical gear already on everybody.
Even with mythical gear, I don't think this. I have a +4 Valk that I was working with. I had her at 350 speed with 8k defense. Her shield was getting 1 shot.
Really?
What?
Wow.
1 shot with decreased attack on the boss.
Wow.
You're
Wow.
you're not gonna deal with this boss without a Valk to begin with, which is just stupid. Like, I can understand having high requirements for a boss, but how do you tank that? Like Halakath, kind of, but then if he doesn't have block damage or an enormous shield, which his shield is not as big as a Valk shield, it's comparable, but it's not as big. Like you're just gonna lose so much max HP. It's not gonna be done.
Does the boss ignore block damage?
No, he doesn't.
So maybe we
Sounds like
could.
another- when its own skin set.
So the team that I saw recently that did it in 3 minutes had Halakath, Cardiel, Valk, Tomb Lord, and Toxic, and then a Cold Heart. And it couldn't deal with the second wave again, like I said. Like
Yeah.
I literally watched the run. The Riho A2's the Cold Heart for 57k through his shield. So she hit the shield and then almost killed the Cold Heart on a non-crit.
Wow.
Through a Valk shield.
Wow. What about locking the passive?
Which passive?
The Riho passive.
The Riho passive? So, with who?
Well, you can lock the passive with Ramantu or with what's the other one? Oh wait, didn't they just do they just buff what's his name? Rhonda?
So even if you
Got
lock
trouble hitting
it, her first move is a cleanse.
Mhm.
That's true.
So she kills
That's
the
true.
whole way.
Okay,
So,
so you need to lock her, and then you
it
need
could come up
to use a basher
Uh,
afterwards.
the freeze, yeah.
pretty much like, and so it basically becomes like finding the balance between something to get through the waves at 100%, and then also deal with the boss is dumb, all because of this Riho.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah. So maybe
somebody
stage
will
25,
figure it out.
maybe
I
stage 10 is
understand.
what will not be farming.
I'm farming 6 right now
Yeah.
because 6 doesn't have any stupid waves, and you need 18 hits instead of 21.
Oh, that's
The
not
boss
that
is
bad.
slower, and I can do it in 3 minutes. So,
Okay.
and like I'm using Ninja and Salad in that team, so like 2 A1s that have single hitters. Like the comp's wide open with who you could use on 6. So, I mean, even if they just tune it down just a little bit, people could do 10.
Yeah. Okay, so the consensus seems to be that Spider is the one that everybody's going to be doing, no problem. Dragon's going to be different,
No.
not as difficult, not as easy, but a little difficult. Then I think people are going to farm Ice Golem before they farm Fire Knight.
Yeah. At this point, yeah. Like, requiring Cardiel and Valk is stupid.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I have them, and I'm still saying it's stupid.
Oh man. Um, so I think we did a pretty decent job of talking all the dungeons through, what we've done, what we can. I guess what we can do is going to be a different segment because they're still trying to fix a lot of these bugs and stuff. So, content creator games. I know Jay and Thule were part of the last one, and Jarek, you are joining us for this one.
Yes, sir.
We haven't really announced what the game is going to be yet, or the challenge for us. But Jay and Thule, real quick, thoughts on last game or contest?
I thought it was really fun. As always, I think any healthy competition between us is fun. A lot of us have nothing left in the game to do besides like our high-end arena stuff. So anything like that to get us out there and actually doing stuff again is always fun. And faction lock stuff is always get your mind going. I think we saw a lot of creative teams that might have actually helped people. Like I put out a legitimate 2-key Ultra Nightmare team video with it and all. You know, like.
The 5 man eaters.
funny.
Jay, what about you? What did you think?
It was pretty interesting. I felt like luckily I had really good champs. It helped out like they released Ronda as well because she helped out as well for doing damage. But it was a way for me to show like the player base on my community during streaming how I'm building my champions. I didn't have to build them with 100% crit. I was able to use Taurus's like crit rate lead, kind of like a Bellinor, being able to like build everyone less.
Did you have skinwalkers? You didn't have skinwalkers. You had Bannerlords.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I said. Taurus. Yeah.
Oh, Taurus.
I didn't say
Taurus. Oh, I thought you said Taurus. I was like, wait, what? I thought Educated Potato had Taurus.
But yeah, it was just I was using him in the lead and just giving everybody like I think I built. Let me see. I can check right now because I actually still have champions. Some champions still built that way, but I pretty much used all Legos. I tried to put in like an epic hero too. In the end, I found out that because I tried different options. I tried like, okay, maybe I should use Ursula the Mourner, or maybe I should use like all Legos and just go straight DPS. And then I totally forgot there was one champion that I've always had at 50 that I never got to 60. And I was like, man, this could have been huge, just for keeping the decrease attack like consistent all the time, which was Stagnite. Even though it doesn't really bring anything
Really?
else.
You don't have a 6-star Stagnite?
Still used.
What? We
No,
don't need,
no,
you don't need
no.
a 6-star. Put Secret's defense down just the same.
I guess.
Yeah, exactly. But
That's
as
true.
Infraction works, I didn't get to 60 because I was like, why do I need to?
I guess.
But-
All right.
He does
So
slaps.
yeah, he does smite pretty hard. So I would play a drum roll, but I don't have a sound effect for it. But new games are going to be faction wars, and it's going to be beat the faction with 3 champions, no more than 3, and you can only use 1 legendary. So I believe this was the idea that was popped by Hooli. I think it was the first one that made the comment in Discord about it. And I know as soon as it happened, every content creators in the group started posting posting their pictures and everything, all of that. So I know Jarrett Gaming went nuts. He's like, "Yep, this is my team. This is my team. This is my team. I'm doing these teams."
Yeah.
So I do like I did like the concept. I felt it's going to be great. So we well, the way I decided what we're gonna do is every content creator is going to get 3 picks, and they're all gonna be random. The wheel's gonna give it to you guys, and you are going to basically submit your fastest run out of those 3 teams for the entry. So I have
None
a
of the factions are going to get locked, as you're saying. Like somebody
Nope.
gets Bannerlord, somebody else can still get
Yep,
Bannerlords, right?
yep. We're not locking them because we had
There's a lot.
yeah, not just that, but it was I think we have something almost like 20 content creators in there, and there was quite a few of them that wanted to do this. So yeah, I figured we can't really lock them, but I got the wheel pulled up here. I had it somewhere. I'm gonna have to pull it up. I'm gonna have to pull it up. Let's go. Put that back. And I had it set, but then I closed the window, not thinking. All right, let's hide that. And then let's hide that. Turn. Why is that not going? Come on. Okay. Let me, you know what? We'll just pop it out here. Put it out. There we go. Okay. So, we don't really have to go in any specific order of who goes. So I guess, Jay, you weren't gonna compete in this one, I believe, right? I think actually what we have for the competitors is we've got myself, we've got Grim Reaper, we've got Viking Whale, Gestel, Mullet Reaver, O'Toole, Kundo, H-Dub, Front, Educated Potato, and Jarrett Gaming. So we'll start. Jarrett, we'll go with you first. We'll give you 3 spins.
Thank you very much.
And
As long as it's not Knight's Rev, I'll be fine.
okay, we got the wheel. It's testing, so it's good. All right, let's
Give him barbarians. Give him barbarians.
Well, he's gonna get to pick 1 out of the 3.
Speed round.
So the first pick is Undead Horde. Okay. So that's one of your first ones. Second one is going to be Dark Elves. Okay.
Nice.
And then your third choice is going to be
Barbarians. Barbarians.
Orcs. Okay. So
Ooh,
you have some
a seer and orc.
yeah, you have some thinking to do. You will have to pick.
Tough one.
You will have to.
know what I-
You will have to submit your.
Valk.
You'll have to submit in your team with a video and a screenshot by Sunday for next Sunday stream. Next, since we have Thule here, we'll let Thule go. So let's see. Thule's spins are
You know, there's like a week and 3 days on orcs, right?
a week and 3 that far out.
Yes.
Oh yeah, week and 3 days. So you better respin that last one then.
You cannot have the date be a week from now.
Okay, so I'll tell you what. We'll do it not this Saturday or not this Sunday, the following Sunday. So it'll be the what is it? Yeah, we'll do 2 weeks. I think that you're right. I think that's kind of fair. That way people can get some time in.
26th, something like that.
Okay. So Thule's got first faction barbarians.
You say barbarian.
Undead horde.
Only one legendary.
I have a +4 salad.
And then your last choice is going to be Shadowkin.
Oh, this is
Okay.
a tough one. Oh man.
Okay.
Barb, Undead, or Shadowkin.
Well,
Get all three of these. Oh jeez.
all right. So the next one we're gonna pick for is Educated Potato. I'm gonna get my little trusty notepad out here. And he's going to have his first pick of either Knights Rev. Oh, dwarfs. Dwarfs.
Dwarves is a good one.
He does have one
Okay.
Trunda now, doesn't he?
Yeah, he can do a Trunda, double Geo. No, a Trunda, Geo, and a Melga
Easy.
or Demitha.
Or
Next. Or what?
a Herndig. This-
No, you can only have one Lego.
Oh, true.
His
true.
second choice is going to be Barbarians. Ooh, that's going to be kind of tough. I've been racking my brain. I mean, if I get Skinwalkers, I'm glad. I'm happy I win this. I've got a solo strat
yeah.
for...
Yeah.
Ooh, Sacred
says I
Order.
got-
Okay, so Educated Potato is got his 3 picks. We'll have to let him know what he's got. Next we are going to, not sure what happened there. I think my camera cut out. Okay, so next we're going to have Grim Reaper. He's got his first choice of High Elves. Second choice is going to be Undead Horde. Seems like everybody's getting Undead. The question with that one's going to be is you can only use the one legendary, so who is it going to be?
Undead.
All right. And his last one is Sacred Order. Okay. Next we'll go with Mullet Reaver. So Mr. Mullet Reaver, let's see what he gets today.
It's on the chat. Luciano, yeah, sorry buddy, we don't speak Italian.
Sacred Order.
Do not give this man high elves. Do not give this man high elves. I'm telling you.
I can't pick it.
I know. He beat
hey,
our Doom Tower with all.
Well, yeah, that's an easy faction to beat anything with. Oh, I thought he was gonna get Ogre Tribes. He's got Lizardmen.
That would be so funny. Lizard? Oh, the man with the crisps.
Yeah, he's got what, a plus 2 Chris, plus 3.
No, I would probably use a Draco over Krisk if I only had one Lego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Nick. It was great having you. Thanks for staying by, man. And his last one is... Oh, no, he already got Sacred Order, so he'll have to go again. I probably should have removed the... Of course, he gets Lizardman again. All right.
Rigged.
Last time.
It's rigged. Undead. Keep 'em undead.
If he gets Lizardman again one more time. Really? All right, we're hiding that choice. Jesus. It's telling you, Mullet, you got to use Lizardmen. It's being... Oh, shit. Hi, elves.
Oh no, no, no. No, he's gonna pick.
All right, let's reset the shield. The wheel, I should say. Okay. Next, we'll go with... who else did we say we have? We'll go with Brunt Catheter. Is it Brunt Catheter or Cat? I'm horrible at reading and spelling. All right, he's got
I call him Bronc Cat Herder.
Brunt Cat Herder. I think you're right. I think it's Brunt Cat Herder.
It's the
Okay.
cat herder.
So Brunt's got Demon Spawned as his first choice. His second choice is Dark Elves,
That's a fast one.
Mithrala, Coldheart, and Ghostborn. Oh,
Well,
yeah, I guess. But Mithrala brings in the petrification, so the Valks are
Yeah,
not a
but-
problem. So you
set
can
up
bring
well. And,
And Mithralla's great for that. Really.
yeah. And then the last one is Orcs.
Nice.
so really
Okay.
fast action.
Channel.
All right. Next we are going to do Mr. Viking Whale. He's got Skinwalkers. Okay. Next choice for him is going to be Sacred Order. And his third choice is going to be Night Revenants. Okay. Next one we're going to have is HWZ. For anybody in the who's watching this didn't know, he just became a raid official CC. Was it about 2 weeks ago? So congratulations to him. So HW has got Undead Horde, which is I believe what he got for the Clan Boss Faction War games too.
Yep.
First choice. Second choice is going to be Dark Elves. And then his last choice is Sacred Order. A lot of Sacred Orders.
Yeah, lots of undead,
Yeah.
lots of Sacred Order.
Oh, I think maybe Plarium's trying to tell us something, or the wheel is. All right. Next we have Gestel Gaming, and then I think I'm the last one. He's got Organ Tribes. And then his second choice Knight's Revenant. Okay. His third choice is Ogren Tribes, which he already got the first time. All right, let's try that again. Damn wheel. Undead Horde. All right. So I believe, let me just make sure. Oh, we have Kondo. I forgot Kondo. So let's get Kondo in next. So what's Kondo gonna get? His first choice is Bannerlords. All right. Second choice is Dwarfs.
Second Baron. Third Baron, actually, I could do it for. Could have done with that one. Bannerlords.
Bannerlords, you got a 3-man team. Well, actually, depending on how solid your not Baron, but your Shadowkin is his last one. Your enemy max HP.
What did you get again?
Oh,
Educated Potato got dwarfs, barbs, and Sacred Order. So he's gonna have to pick one of those teams. All right. Now, last but not least, myself. Let's go. Barbarians. Okay. All right. I don't have a Turbolt on my main account, so that's gonna be hard.
She's out ready. You're fine.
Next one is High Elves. Okay, I do have an Ethos. Okay. And last but not least, just give me Skinwalkers. Oh, so close. So close. I would have taken the Skinwalkers. All right. So Educated Potato said that he's going to get his with Sacred Order. Okay. Okay. So you will have till not this coming Sunday, the following Sunday, so 2 weeks from now, to submit all of your the team that you want. So let me close that out. All right. So yeah, guys, I want to say thank you very much for joining us for the first stream on the channel. Before I let you guys go, Duchess, do you have anything you want to say? I'm waiting. No? Okay. So, to be fair, Raid has had their chance to speak. Duchess decides to keep quiet, so we'll let that go. We won't hold it against them. I think next week we're going to have Battle Khazard on the channel. And one of the things I like to do when we have guests on the channel is do shout outs. So Jay, we'll start off with you first. Do you have a shout out you want to give out to somebody?
Yes, Chaos TV.
Okay.
He has come up with some unique free-to-play using Sand Devil full auto with the Mytha, Revive on Deaths using the Mytha to block during the attacks, and then you just use Lightsworn to AoE Revive on Death people. It's full epics, and you can just, it looks free-to-play to me, and I really like that. I saw that yesterday at work, so definitely Chaos TV is another, that I would choose to shout out.
Okay. Well, once this goes on to the channel, I'll make sure I edit out the information or the description below and add him in there. Jarrett Gaming, shout out for you, sir. Who do you have?
Sorry, no one actually, but on the next one, I'll make sure I'll bring someone along. Sorry, I just no one springs to mind, but obviously all the raid game community are obviously amazing, and I'll say that for now. Next one, though, I'll do.
So you're gonna shout out. You're gonna shout out the community.
Of course, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You guys, everyone that's actually got me down this road, and enjoy.
We take it.
Okay. And last but not least, Thule. You have a shout out?
Definitely gonna shout out Mad Shinny actually. I think he has done a lot of low spend arena stuff at super high levels that is super accessible to everybody. He's pretty much got put on the map with Gala, and he's done a lot of other really friendly comps with like Ultimate Death Knight, Gala included, and he's really a low spend, and he utilizes really utilizes things very well at a very high level. He has a red avatar and everything, and he doesn't even have 10 mil PP. So I think I definitely gonna shout him out.
Okay. Okay. I just want to say PP doesn't really matter, you know.
No,
But
no, that's not how you used it.
hey, keep it PG now. Channel with us. But Educated Potato. So as everybody knows, Gear Cleanse is such a pain in the rear end. And I finally figured out how to use the RSL helper. And I stole his file for Gear Cleanse. And oh my god, does it make things so much easier. I log in, I take the gear off, I use his sheet that he put in, and it just sells everything. And I know that I can trust him. He's not going to be just somebody that logs on to do something funky. But last but not least, I was going to do this on a different video, but I've got 32 sacred shards, or 32 ancient shards, sorry. I was going to go for this fusion. Are you guys going for it?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
will.
yeah.
Can't miss a
Okay.
3 void Lego.
Yep.
I don't care
Yep,
if she's
yep,
bad
yep.
right now. She could be good later.
They could
Uh,
buffer.
so I'm gonna pull my 32 ancients live on here. Let's hope I get something good. I'm looking for a Theodore. I think I got a Finax, I guess, if that helps. Not a Theodore. Um, I think last time I had Jarrett Gaming open and he got me a Harima, which was I was stoked. I still haven't built her yet. I'm waiting for CVC.
After all that,
Yeah,
he's still
lost.
sitting there.
Oh, this was a rare tax right here. Let's go. Last 10. Old Man Jorg.
Nice.
Terror
He's
Beast.
great. His Infraction was. If you pick Orcs, that is.
Yeah. And then, come on, give me a
Multiple choice.
Theodore. Although, I did get.
So down to singles.
Ooh. No, we got nada. We got nothing.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Maybe next time. So,
I would've got
guys,
two Legos.
yeah. Guys, it's been a pleasure to have you on the channel. Thank you for coming on. Hopefully we get to have you back on soon again. And to everybody watching, thank you for joining us on our first stream. I promise we'll get things better next time. And I should have my proper computer set up. So